We have former TV6 morning show host and cricket analyst Fazeer Mohammed. Now, Fazeer, in your own words, can you describe, if you can, what we saw today?
I suppose an accident waiting to happen is the best way to describe it, because you feared for a number of factors that something like this could happen. Maybe not 27 all out, but you look at the quality of the Australian bowling, the lack of experience and quality in the West Indies batting, the nature of the pitch at Sabina Park and the pink ball. And all of those factors, together with Mitchell Starc in his 100th Test match, looking to do something special. As I said, it was almost the perfect storm as far as the West Indies being blown away for 27 today.
Well, from what I heard you saying, it seems like something that you saw coming, or was this a performance and anomaly?
I wouldn't say it's an anomaly at all, because, James, you know, if we look back on West Indies' recent history, certainly from the 2000s onwards, many people will look back and ignore the fact that with the great Brian Lara, Shivnarine Chanderpaul, Ramnari Sarawat, Chris Gale, the previous record was set in the same Jamaica in 2004, 47 all out. Just before that, the West Indies 51 all out against Australia, 61 all out against England, 61 all out against the same England. So there's a string and a thread here, James, that goes beyond just the players. And yes, people will cuss and get on about the players and the coach and so on. But indeed, as I said before, in the same way that we talk about success being a process, consistent failure is a process as well. And this is the inevitable result.
I've heard so many variables being discussed. What do you think are some of the pressing questions and concerns that must be immediately answered?
Fundamentally, James, is the same thing that many people have been talking about for about 30 years, the quality of our domestic cricket. We continue to fool ourselves into believing that with ordinary standards, poor performances, we can somehow be competitive in Test match cricket. Look, Craig Brathwaite has just played his 100th Test match as a batsman, averaging 32. It's the lowest average by anyone who would have played 100 Test matches as a batsman. And that really tells you the story of our cricket.
It's got to be asked, Fazeer. Of course, you mentioned not enough domestic cricket, but it's got to be asked, Darren Sammy, what is his role, if any, in this debacle that we saw today?
Well, he'll have to own up to it, because remember, he's talked boldly about a new, positive, bold style of cricket and basically going by the data, jettisoning some players like Alec Athanaze and Kavem Hodge, who've been in the West Indies team for the last year and a half to 2 years. And now that we've had this, not just losing the series 3-0, but being humiliated in a world record way, in a way that we don't want today, he'll have to answer some questions. Does it mean that he should be sacked automatically? No, because that doesn't achieve anything. The question is, are we really going to see a situation where people are going to put their hands up and own up to the fundamental flaws in West Indies cricket?
I've got to ask, as a fan, Fazeer, you know, we're looking at the result today, we're quite concerned. How long can we take in terms of reconstruction, in terms of getting West Indies at a competitive level? We've seen the bowlers do well, but 27 not out, or 27 all out, in fact, it's a new low for West Indies cricket. How long are we looking at in terms of getting some sort of reconstruction and rebuilding?
Well, you know, James, that has been a question that has been asked since you were in short pants, probably in Pampers as well. And we're still waiting on the answer. Because, again, whenever something like this happens, the usual phrase is, well, we can't get any worse. And invariably we do, because we are not addressing the problems. And that's the issue, James. Until we keep playing this game of PR and pretending that things are well. For example, the T20 series starts on Sunday. If the West Indies were to win that series, all will be forgotten about this humiliation, and then it's going to happen again. So we basically need to get back to the nuts and bolts of Caribbean cricket, or else this is going to remain the norm. People keep talking about a revival and turning the corner. That's not going to happen anytime soon once we continue this way.
Well, it doesn't fill me with optimism. Thank you so much for your thoughts and insights, as always, Fazeer Mohammed.